I was trying to think of something to say on the or like where it goes like, welcome to the podcast, an autism and ADHD podcast for blank, and my brain's going, not today, not getting any of that.
Not for your comedy section.
No, it's coming up with nothing. Probably because it's quite late and I didn't get a lot of sleep. Hello and welcome to the Autistic Experience, an autism and ADHD podcast for those of us who probably are not getting enough sleep. My name is Kieran, as always joined by Chloe.
Oh, hi.
Hey. This podcast comes out every 2 weeks, so the next one's going to be on the 21st of July, fingers crossed. And you can always go follow us on Instagram at the Autistic Experience if you fancy. But so how does the podcast work? Good question. And if I had a proper answer, then we'd probably be doing better at it. But in general, the idea is that because we're a neurodivergent couple, so we kind of just go over the last couple of weeks and try and pick out certain bits which are a bit strange or unusual or have particular relevance to being neurodivergent. And
very free form, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very free form. It's like jazz. You've got to listen to the words we're not saying because most of the words we are saying are complete rubbish. Just like jazz.
Sometimes there's a lot of noise involved. That
there's a lot of noise. It doesn't really make sense. But hey, it's all art, right?
Yeah, there's plenty of people that like it, apparently.
Who am I to argue? Anyway, of course, very important update. Still no baby guinea pig.
Yeah, genuinely the last 2.5 days, I've been in the house and it's almost prevented me from doing anything else because I'm I just need to watch her and look for any signs that it might be happening. Yeah,
it's kind of put us both into just an extended waiting mode.
Yeah.
So when you've got an appointment or
a parcel
meeting or a parcel coming or something, and it's going to be at some point, but you don't know exactly when.
Yeah.
So that means any time before that, you can't possibly get invested or put your brain into doing something else because you're well, I'm just going to have to do something else later.
Yeah.
So you basically just pacing up and down. You're well, I can't do anything, so this is my existence now.
Yeah. I think that's probably part of the reason why, I'm finding it kind of frustrating sometimes, just waiting for it. And I think it's just because it does kind of get in the way of me doing other stuff because it's constantly on my mind or distracting me, or I'm watching her or something, and just all the time.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying. Whereas most people would probably be able to go, it'll happen when it happens, and in the meantime we just carry on. I'm
no,
must stare.
And for me as well, I think I'm kind of just paranoid that if she stays pregnant for too long, then the babies are going to get too big inside her to get out.
Yeah. I don't imagine that would happen, but who knows? I'm also paranoid about because she didn't have the best start from what we can tell in the place that she came from. So I think the beginning of her pregnancy was maybe a bit rough, and she wasn't eating the right stuff. So I kind of want to be present for when she has the babies, just to make sure that everything goes okay and that they come out all right. Because there is part of me that, is bearing in mind that hopefully there's not been any problems with it, but she hasn't had the easiest time.
No.
So I just want to be there for her, make sure that she does okay.
So that's our Piggy Watch update.
Very important news.
The most important news possible.
Yes.
Then, okay, next up.
The second most important news.
The second most important news of the day is our ongoing quest to improve the stuff we got going on around the house.
Oh, yeah.
has led to a new toilet seat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Which is something that I feel like you don't appreciate until you get to a point where you then just appreciate it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if you feel a bit weird us talking about toilets for however long we end up talking about toilets for, then sorry, I guess.
I mean, I wasn't planning on going into too much detail about the reason for the new toilet seat.
I don't know. People might be a bit... might prefer not to listen to toilet talk. I don't know. But yeah, we're not going to go into like super graphic detail. But we've been wanting a new toilet seat for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And like finally kind of just went, you know what? I think it's about time.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things similar to like getting a microwave or a dishwasher or a tumble dryer where we've been like, how did we last for this long without doing this?
Yeah.
In the case of like the tumble dryer, for example, we've been living here, what, 3 years now?
Yeah, just over.
And we've had the tumble dryer a couple of months.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely bizarre to think that the whole 3 years we've just been leaving our clothes out just to dry.
And the dishwasher is a massive one.
Yeah.
Thinking about all the coming home from work and like you might be sort of cooking something and I'd just be standing by the sink, hand washing everything and hating it. And like, I just can't imagine it being like that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, bearing in mind, it took us about 6 months of living here to get a microwave.
Yeah. To be honest, I forgot that a microwave was actually something that we bought post moving in.
Well, it was a present from my parents for Christmas, I believe.
But like, it's been there for so long now that I'm just used to it. Couldn't imagine not having a microwave. But yeah, I do think it made me kind of realise that, going back to the toilet seat, that I think it is actually quite a important like sensory thing, like for me. And I think like a change, it's a very simple, small thing that I think a lot of people wouldn't necessarily think about, but I think actually changing it and having this new one, it makes my kind of general experience of being in the bathroom and using the bathroom easier, because it relieves some of that kind of sensory bother that I used to have before we changed it.
Yeah,
which
so
sounds bizarre, I think, but I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not going into any more detail.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's going to understand, it's going to be you listening, right? But what I should probably explain. It's not just like a regular old toilet seat, because true to form, I did a butt ton of research and found like not what I would call a specialist toilet seat, for like advanced users.
Super high tech.
Yeah. But it's got like a couple of like plastic seals around the rim. So basically what it does is it helps prevent splashback. And then when you close the lid and, flush, then it kind of keeps it all contained, helps prevent the bacteria shooting out into the surrounding area, and also makes it very quiet.
Mm-hmm. All of which is an absolute dream for me.
So, so like I spend quite a lot of time I'm not sure why spending my time thinking about toilet seats is. Again, if anyone's going to understand, I just thought like, because I spent a lot of my years living at home, kind of like staying up super late, as is all of our wants when we're around that sort of age. But like, kind of when you go and do your teeth or go to the toilet and it's like 2 a.m. You've got to like be like a ninja and be super quiet, and that's fine until you've got to flush the toilet.
Yeah.
And I've just spent the time thinking, what if we had like one of those? It drops the volume down hugely.
Yeah, you actually can't hear the flush from outside the bathroom, I don't think.
No, I don't
If the door's shut, you actually can't hear it.
No. So I was thinking, how useful would that have been?
Yeah.
Going at like 2 a.m. and there's no noise coming out of the bathroom.
Yeah. And I wonder whether, like, as a spicy brain person, like, obviously staying up late is one thing, but kind of worrying that you're going to go and disturb people by making noise, I think is also like a common issue that we would probably suffer from. Because I know I've definitely had that where I get like anxious about, say, getting up in the night to use the toilet because you don't want to disturb anybody and make anybody mad. So you'll like almost try and avoid it if you can. Whereas if you've got a noise cancelling toilet seat, then you're fine.
Add that to the list of noise cancelling things.
Yeah.
You need to get.
Everything needs to be noise cancelling. So well done. You have discovered the noise cancelling toilet seat for autistics. Did you know that you needed an autistic toilet seat?
Well,
you do now.
I do now, yeah. But again, it's the sort of thing which just kind of makes life easier, or at least less stressful. And, you know, as I said, you kind of go, why didn't we do this sooner?
Yeah.
It's like, just makes it so much nicer to live. And it's basically just, what we're doing is we're doing reasonable adjustments to our home.
Yeah.
Aren't we? So we're, you know, taking away the classic ADHD issue of washing up, piling up.
Yeah.
And then you look at that and you go, oh, no, that's too much. It's too overwhelming. I can't do any of that.
Like, you get like paralysed.
We've got a little robot to do it.
Yeah. Easy.
Or if you've got sensory issues around like toilet seats and toilets, right? Then that helps with that. And also the noise issue. And
well, a lot of my sensory problems in the house come from like hygiene and being scared of like bacteria and dirty things. And so I think that's why the toilet seat helps me. And like I don't have to deal with washing up sort of things that have been used to prepare like raw meat and stuff like that. Because that used to really hated doing that, washing up like a chopping board after preparing some chicken or something. Just nightmare. So knowing the dishwasher will do it and I don't have to interact with it and it just goes in and it gets clean is just awesome. Because I think it's normal to be uncomfortable about things like that. Yeah. But I don't think it's normal to feel this uncomfortable about it. Or like getting actually anxious about washing up like a knife that's been used to cut some chicken up. Because you're like, oh my gosh, if I don't sterilise this thing, then we're going to die of food poisoning and it's going to contaminate everything. So
yeah, so that's definitely helped things out.
Yeah. I actually didn't expect to go onto the toilet seat, and I definitely didn't expect to go onto such a big section on the toilet seat either.
Well, if other podcasts are not going to talk about autism-friendly toilet seats,
we have to.
We have to step up and do it. If we won't, who will?
Exactly. Just like, I don't even know what's happened now in the past 2 weeks because I'm just completely taken by the toilet seat. That's all that's in my mind.
Yeah. Next up, we need to invent like a shower where it has like jets out of like all areas, like top, all the sides at the bottom. So you just step in, it blasts you with water at a sensible temperature straight off the bat, and then that's you done.
Yeah. Yeah.
It goes for a set amount of time.
Like a car wash.
Yeah, like I want a human car wash. Where you just step in and it goes and it runs for a set amount of time, and then when it's done, it's done. It stops by itself. I don't want to be standing in the shower thinking about like philosophy and all sorts of creative things that only happen when you're stood in the shower. And I'm like, oh, I need to have a quick shower this time. And then half an hour later, I'm like, oh, wait, yeah. Have I done my, have I shampooed my hair? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm the opposite because I hate the process of having a shower so much that I want to get it done as quickly as possible because my brain doesn't like wasting time, and so it thinks if I'm in the shower that I'm wasting time, and B, getting out of the shower is always really painful, and because it's cold, and I hate being cold when I get out, and I hate having to dry myself with the towel. So I just think I have to do it as quickly as possible, just to get it over with.
That's why I think with the car wash shower, you also need a drying aspect. To
Yeah.
Like one of those haystack dryers.
That'd be amazing.
Which just kind of blow like
drying myself. Getting out the shower and drying myself is genuinely like one of the worst parts of my day.
I want to see whether they're a thing. Hang on.
Like human car wash.
Yeah,
human wash.
This is going to be a very weird Google search. Okay, human car wash. No, it's corrected. It's a human cat wash.
You want the big brush as well for a little scrub. A big spinning brush.
Human car wash. I mean, there is a human car wash, but it's more like a car wash. So it's basically like, just imagine a shower, but it's got like a track down the middle of it, like top to bottom. And then there's a big brush which spins like a car wash, and then it just kind of goes up and down.
That's funny.
So I think the idea is you just kind of stand there and like rotate.
That's peak laziness, that is.
Well, the idea is that it's for people who may have like issues showering.
Not just people want to get it.
Not just people who want to stand there like a doner kebab, slowly rotating as they
because they can't be bothered to watch themselves. Yeah, I didn't consider that as a possibility. I just thought that people were being lazy.
I mean, why not do it properly? Just stand on like a lazy Susan and just slowly spin. You don't even have to move your feet.
Yeah. So we'll update on the human car wash shower.
Yeah.
Thing.
See if I'll do some proper research. You never know. I mean, obviously, we're not going to get one fitted in here because it's not our place.
I was going to say, do you want to come home from work one day and you're like, oh, I've been busy today, and there's
I've been doing some plumbing, right?
The bathroom's like completely refitted.
Yeah. I've basically created the Crystal Maze dome with like power showers out of every single thing. You just flick a massive switch and it just goes.
And in like a split second, you're completely clean.
Yeah. And then you go, will you start the fans, please?
Yeah.
And it dries you off.
Yeah, I like it. I am down.
See, the good news is that if no one's invented what I've just described yet, it's my copyright because I've published it.
I'm pretty sure nobody has invented it, so I think it's probably your thing.
Cool. That's good to know.
Because it's very specific.
Very specific, yeah.
So if you see Crystal Maze Dome style power shower human car wash come into stores near you.
Well, I'm sure there's a way to, make it a little bit more accessible, like streamlined. But we'll figure that out. Maybe 2 shower heads like pointed opposite each other, that you stand in a little cubicle and they spin around you as they go up and down. So
yeah,
like a little tornado,
like on a little ring or something.
Yeah.
You could totally do that. I'm planning it. That would
I reckon that'd be doable, right?
Yeah, because all you'd need is like poles that you could attach like a thing to. So you have a ring that attaches to the poles, and then it has an inner ring that spins that has the shower heads attached to it. Then it'll move up and down the poles, and then the inner ring spins around. That would totally work. Copyright.
Yep. It's IP, so
I think it'd be such a fun experience as well. Be in a shower like that.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to be careful not to, accidentally waterboard yourself. I've gone through my entire life and only accidentally waterboarded myself maybe 2 or 3 times. So it's totally avoidable.
Like once a decade.
Yeah. Got to make sure you can still survive waterboarding, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you go to a theme park every couple of years to see whether you can handle it or not. And then when you find out you can't, you go, okay, maybe not anymore then.
Feel targeted.
Oh, good, I was going for that.
That was really shady, that was. Like the sass behind the way you said that. Oh, good, I was going for
that. Oh, good, that came across.
I feel like this has gone well off the rails.
Well, I like to think that we never even bothered putting rails in.
Yeah.
We knew
we
it
said
was
it's
pointless.
freeform.
Yeah, it's freeform and could go anywhere, like a ferret driving a taxi. Sometimes the joy is just saying a ridiculous thing and knowing that Chloe's going to imagine it.
I mean, yeah.
Now, the question is, in your little imaginative fantasy, is the ferret wearing a little driver's hat?
No, it wasn't initially, but I did just consider that
A little chauffeur's
before
hat.
you said it. Like, just before you said it, he was, but originally he wasn't. But he was driving a very stereotypical, like, yellow New York cab.
Okay, so it's more like a leaning elbow out of the window, shouting at pedestrians.
Yeah.
And then quite erratic driving behaviour.
Yeah. That's what I had in mind.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's happened in the last fortnight?
The third bit of news, I think, for this one, is that we have a new government.
We finally got to it.
So
Yay!
usually we record this like about a week before it goes out. But due to a number of things, chief among them procrastination and forgetting, we're actually recording this on Friday, the 5th of July. So the election, general election in the UK, the results came through kind of overnight and into this morning. And yeah, we have a new government in charge of the country. And I think a lot of people have breathed a sigh of relief.
Yes.
So I thought what we'd do, and we did a little bit of reading earlier, is to have a look through the Labour manifesto and see if there was anything specific it said about autism and disabled people. There is a bit, not a huge amount. The manifesto is 136 pages long, and I trawled through all of it earlier.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I can't say I've read a lot of it in explicit detail when it's talking about like businesses and whatnot, because I was like, yeah, I know which bit to look for. This is page 88 and 89. It says, Labour is committed to championing the rights of disabled people and to the principle of working with them so that their views and voices will be at the heart of all we do. We will introduce the full right to equal pay for disabled people, which
whoop, whoop.
I was kind of surprised didn't have already.
Yeah.
Building on gender pay gap reporting, we will introduce disability and ethnicity pay gap reporting for large employers. We will support disabled people to work by improving employment support and access to reasonable adjustments. We will also tackle the access to work backlog and make sure people can try out a job without fear of an immediate benefit reassessment if it doesn't work out. So I think the important thing to point out here is that it's not just them saying it. Well, if something goes into a manifesto, it's basically a promise they make. It's like the promise you get elected on. So if you start not delivering on those promises or breaking those promises or going against them, then you've kind of been elected under false pretenses, right? Which is, kind of a big no-no in UK politics. So hopefully, and from what I've seen, because we've had a Labour government now for about 11 hours as we're recording this. The Rwanda policy, which has been a big old thing, I think is like officially dead now. They've canned it.
Really?
Like we've had that government for less than half a day, and they've canned it, which is the right move because it's cost a stupid amount of money to do basically nothing. Yeah, it kind of feels like the grown-ups are in charge again.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. We hold out hope. But I think that's enough about the politics, I think. And that's probably where we should end the episode, I think. I mean, we've talked about all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey, this one, hasn't it?
What do you think of my idea for the all-in-one shower dryer? I think it's pretty solid. And do you have any things you've bought for your home that have made life easier and you've thought, why did we not do this before? Let us know on Instagram at the Autistic Experience, and then while you're there, press the follow button so we can see a number go up. And then also go and leave us a nice rating and review on whatever podcast platform you happen to be listening on, which is not Google Podcasts anymore because that is dead.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Google Podcasts. You were a good one. I'm not a fan of YouTube Music for podcasts.
No.
That's a different conversation.
Tune in next time.
Tune in next time for talk about probably about 5 or 6 different autism-friendly podcast apps. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows what we'll end up talking about next time? Hopefully, baby guinea pigs.
I know, but all sorts of weird stuff tends to happen within 2 weeks in this house. So
so
God
look forward
knows
to that.
what it'll be.
Well, we'll have your birthday in that gap, won't we? So
My birthday.
who knows what sort of weird stuff's going to happen. So until then, the next episode is going to be on the 21st of July. So until then, I've said all the important stuff. So my name's Kieran. She has been Chloe. And you have been.
I'm going to ascend.
Ascend.
In my true form.
The true form of a free lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, you go get that. Bye.